Just about 15 minutes or so past the hour of 6 o'clock. This is the second Monday of the month, so that means it is time for Vision Talk. And as I mentioned earlier, we are coming up on World Sight Day. And it's my pleasure to have in the studio my good friend and the great big engine that is behind making Vision Bermuda the wonderful place that it is for our folks with vision loss. Theresa McMordie joins me. And her official title, rehabilitation specialist and all of that stuff. But she really is the engine that is driving it right now. You did get a nice piece of editorial the other day, not too long ago, talking about things moving along at Beacon House. We're really hoping, fingers and toes crossed, that that's all coming together for you, Theresa. But let's just tell our listeners all about World Sight Day, and it's coming up, and what Vision Bermuda has going on with it.
Well, first of all, thank you for that really lovely introduction.
You're welcome.
It's really lovely.
You're welcome. I know the facts. See? I know.
Thank you. And also, welcome to our listeners. It's so lovely that you join us each month, because I even bump into people who say they hear me on the radio now.
I heard you
so
on
that's
the radio.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So thank you for listening and continuing to support us and tune in. Well, yes, I'm here to talk about World Sight Day, which is on Thursday, the 13th of October. This is a day that's recognised to raise public awareness about blindness and vision loss. It's considered as a day to influence governments. So
oh, wow.
Who knows? And to support blindness prevention and rehab programmes, like the programmes that I provide here in Bermuda. And to educate the public on how to maintain healthy vision. And I'll go through some tips in a moment about that. This International Day of Education and Awareness is held every year on the second Thursday in October. And it's sponsored globally by the International Agency for the Prevention of Blindness in conjunction with World Health Organization. So it's quite a big deal. And this year's World Sight Day is focused on #LoveYourEyes, a campaign, of course, to raise awareness on good eye health, which I think is really important for us here in Bermuda. So I thought I'd start by going ahead and giving some tips. And if you follow, or our listeners follow, these simple guidelines for maintaining our healthy eyes, you know that your eyesight could last you well into retirement.
Sure. That's what we're trying to do here, folks.
Yes.
This is preventing sight loss right now.
Completely prevention. And as I was coming up with these tips, or investigating these tips, should I say, one of them may not necessarily be people would like to hear about smoking. So we'll just give you that little tip, but we'll go on to that later.
Okie dokie.
So your eyes are a really important part of your health. I mean, you go along, I certainly have since I've come to Bermuda. I go along and have a medical checkup once a year. But people don't necessarily think, oh, well, I've gone and had a medical checkup with my GP. I'll go along and have my eyes tested and checked. They don't necessarily go hand in hand. And it's really important that you get your eyes checked.
And we do have great optometry.
You absolutely
do. There are several really good optometrists, and if there's anything suspect, they'll refer to an ophthalmologist, which is the doctor side of it. And so go and see them. We have well-established, great reputations, I think, amongst our eye care specialists here.
You really do. I mean, I've been ever so impressed with the eye care that is on island. Really impressed. I've seen a few, back in the UK, of course, in my years.
Sure.
And to me, they don't hold any candle.
Hold a candle, yeah. I think we take it a little bit for granted that in several of the providers here, it is cutting edge technology, and the fact that because of Bermuda's sort of international fame as a business hub and being out here where we are in the middle of the Atlantic, these doctors have access to all of the latest and greatest when it comes to information, whether that be going to trade shows and conventions. I've myself have seen like amazing technology displayed and stuff right here on the island, and I always have seen our local providers there at these events so that they know what they're doing and what they're talking about. Mm-hmm.
Yes, fantastic. But the importance of going to the optometrist. I always get tongue-tied when I try and say that word, so excuse me.
It's optometrist and then the TH in the other one. I'm trying to remember that.
The importance of having your eyes checked with them, even if don't feel that you're ready for glasses.
Exactly.
Contact lenses.
It's not about that.
It's about them having a look at the health of your eyes.
Sure.
I mean, ophthalmology, they go even deeper, but it's a really good start. And particularly if you're starting to lose your peripheral vision, because, you don't know what you've lost because you think that you're still seeing.
And your brain adapts quite quickly.
Absolutely does. It's amazing, our brain, how it adapts. And also they can, find early indications of glaucoma or diabetic retinopathy and macula, and then they can forward you on to ophthalmology.
Sure. And other diseases, things that involve inflammation can be the early signs of other metabolic disease can be detected in the retina and the blood vessels in it as well. So that's a good thing to say, like, hey, especially, hopefully most folk are covered by some insurance and get those checks done. If it's in your policy, go and get them done, head to toe. But we're focusing on eyes right now.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yes, please do, because they can be. Oh gosh, why is the word completely lost? They can be halted, or Anyway, you can find out what's
early
what's
detection
happening.
is half of the battle.
Yes, I
half
do
the
love
battle.
Shelley. She always helps me out here. Look.
We'll find those words.
And the another tip was to maintain your blood sugar levels. 90% of blindness, can you believe? 90% of blindness caused by diabetes is preventable. And so ask your healthcare team to help you set up some goals to maintain your sugar levels, your blood pressure and your cholesterol. As I understand, is known as the ABC of diabetes. Please get your blood sugars checked. And also another good tip is to know your family's history.
Sure.
Talk to family members about their history. It's important to know if anyone's been diagnosed with a disease or a condition, because some of them are hereditary. And this information will then help to determine if you're a higher risk for developing an eye disease or a condition.
We talk about type 2 diabetes a lot and its effect on eyesight. Are those born with the juvenile sort, the type 1, are they susceptible to sight loss in the same way that type 2 are? I mean, that would be an interesting thing for us to look into.
Yes, that would be really interesting to look into,
But as we move along, I mean, gosh, these are simple things to do. So let's hope our listeners are getting them.
Yes, please. So another one is to eat right to protect your
nutrition.
Sight. Do you like that?
I do like that.
And I'm sure that you've heard that carrots are good for your eyes, but eating a diet rich in fruit and vegetables, particularly leafy greens, spinach, kale, is important to keep your eyes healthy too. I mean, we've had a couple of nutritionists on that have talked about the importance of that. And research has also shown that there are other eye health benefits from eating fish high in omega-3 and fatty acids, such as salmon, tuna.
And again, those things are well known for being anti-inflammatories and all the way around. That is good for you to prevent inflammation anywhere in the body, but specifically to do with your eyesight as well.
Yes. Another tip, maintain a healthy weight. So being overweight or obese increases your risk of developing diabetes and other conditions, which can lead to vision loss. We've talked about that on many of our shows. But if you're having trouble maintaining your weight, then please talk to your doctor about how you can get it under control.
Sure, and there's lots of help to be had with the Diabetes Centre here. They are amazing down there. And it's just acknowledging that, I need some help with this and I want to feel better. And go down there, have the consult, and you're well on the way to arresting anything that might be damaging.
Absolutely, and just starting with a little exercise as well, depending on where your fitness level's at.
Sure.
But just starting and growing it, and having a healthy, active lifestyle as well, and is And of course, if you're thinking, but I have my sight's deteriorated, how can I be expected to, to walk or run? Then just get in touch with me, because I have certainly found sighted guide runners and walkers, and in the past in my jobs in the UK. So
sure.
I can. That's no excuse.
It can all be done. That's not an excuse.
No excuse.
We can figure it out. And then with the technology involved now, there are things you can do with stationary exercise equipment and things like that to really make it an enjoyable experience, whether you're sighted or not. So
absolutely. And if just as a side thought, that if you belong to a gym and you want me to come along and speak to the staff and have a special program for yourself, then I'm very, very, very willing to do that too.
Absolutely.
And the other thing that another tip, which I have to say wasn't until I moved here one of my best things that I used to do for my sight, is wear protective eyewear.
Sure.
I quite often went without sunglasses.
Sure.
And when we're out on the ocean here, my goodness, the glare magnifies.
It does. It has twice an effect.
So yes, please, please, please wear protective eyewear, as in sunshades. And if sunglasses aren't useful to you right now, I have some anti-glare glasses in, so you can, again, contact me and we'll look at anti-glare glasses.
Because there are ways to do it, and the thing that happens is it that the sunlight and the glare and how it affects your retina and stuff, is that what contributes to cataracts forming?
That's exactly it. Yes. And we don't want those cataracts to start forming unnecessarily. They do tend to come at older age anyway, so let's not have it younger.
Let's not accelerate it. Let's not help it down the road. And we must say that if you have gotten to that point and you're like, oh my goodness, I've lost this, or I've got the halos, or I've got the blurry vision and I can't see when a light's shining at me, which are all symptoms of cataract formation. Again, right here on the island, there are things that can be done to fix it. I quote unquote fix it. There are some chronic cataract conditions I know that contribute to vision loss that can't be fixed. I do know that, but for the most part, the ones that come along with the body aging and with it getting a little wear and tear can be fixed. So that's a good thing to know, that not like, oh gosh, if I what am I going to do, and don't let that stop you from taking these steps that we're giving you today.
Yes, absolutely. Now this might not go down too well, but please quit smoking. Or don't start. And I'm wondering if, because I see friends who have struggled with giving up tobacco cigarettes that are now all with the electronic cigarettes. Is it the nicotine that is just as damaging to the eyesight, or is it the act of smoking and the byproducts within tobacco itself that are bad for your eyesight? That's something I think that would go well if that was put in clear terminology, because there's such an attraction to those e-cigarettes with the flavors and, it's not smoke, it's water vapor and this and that. But, chronic lung disease has been proven, but I'm just wondering about the effect that we're talking about of vision care and loving your eyes, and if that is something that affects. I'm wondering how the vaporing will affect our eyes. I mean, we won't get proper data yet, but that is something.
Long-term data has to wait for it to be long-term, unfortunately.
Yes, that's the problem, and then people realise.
So don't start that either, kids. Okay, that's the best advice we can give right now.
But researchers, as you know, researchers linked smoking to an increased risk of developing age-related macular degeneration.
Sure.
And like we just discussed, our cataracts and the optic nerve damage. All which can lead to blindness.
Yes, absolutely.
And people always think, it won't happen to me. But, I will never say that again. It can't happen to me. When I was my car was broken into a couple of years ago now in the UK. And I thought it would never happen to me,
Until it did.
Until it did. And something very, very precious was stolen. And I will never, ever say that again. So please don't ever think it would never happen to me. Or I'm too young, or,
all of the above.
All of that, Yes, so giving your eyes a rest. People don't always realise it. And
eye
we're
strain.
so terrible at getting on with our work, aren't we?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And yes, constantly on our computers or our phones or our iPad or, constantly. But
and there's this actual thing called blue screen damage or something, I believe. I'm probably not saying it right. But a specific issue that comes with too much of looking at a computer screen, like, the one I'm looking at now is in dark mode, and apparently that's a little kinder to the eyes than having, your regular sort of either Microsoft or Apple desktop stuff when you're doing things, something to think about. And I'm pretty sure, in fact, I've seen it advertised that there are also glasses you can put on, anti-glare, but it's specifically
for the screen,
for the whatever the light temperature that comes off your electronic devices.
But can you believe we sometimes forget to blink? That really surprised
dry
me.
eye is, and people just think, oh, my eyes are dry, I'm tired, I've been reading too long, but it can damage the front of your eyes, obviously, because they dry from the outside in, and then things like your cornea and stuff can get a little inflamed. So again, the best thing, I guess, is to rest them, blink.
Yes.
There are over-the-counter products. I don't know about the chronic use of artificial tears, as they call them, and stuff like that, because I know folks that deal with lenses and stuff, contacts, have to use various things to help their eyes, although that technology is so far advanced now that, I'm sure a lot of that isn't necessary. But, there are things you can do to soothe dry eye, and it's something you want to keep up with in the, I guess, the most natural way possible.
Yes,
there are just
absolutely.
saline, I think, and things that are kinder to your eye and keep it moist. But dry eye can be caused by a bunch of things, right? Medications you're on, right, can cause dry eye.
Yeah. Absolutely,
and smoking contributes to it. And if you're in a constant wind,
I do love you. I do love how knowledgeable you are. It's so amazing. But you're absolutely right.
Yeah, all of these things. Yes.
Yeah. So and there's a little exercise you can do. Again, I went blank. A little exercise you can do, which is a 20-20-20 rule. Every 20 minutes, you could always set a timer on your watch if you wanted to be, or your phone if you wanted to be
precise. Yes.
Look away about 20 feet in front of you for 20 seconds.
And that's adjusting the depth of vision so that I think that's for the muscles within your lens as it opens and closes, because they get tired at the end of the day. Usually around, the end of your 30s, your 40s, you're realizing your arm's not quite long enough for you to get that focus on whatever you're trying to read in front of you, and those other funny things that we call it. But that's lens. Your lenses get tired. The muscles that control your focal length get tired. So letting your eyes have some difference in it has proven to be very beneficial. Yeah,
absolutely does. And then talking about contact lenses, just making sure that you're washing your hands whenever you're dealing with your contact lenses to avoid the risk of infection. Washing them thoroughly, of course, and be sure to disinfect them if they're ones that
are long wear,
using,
as opposed to dailies or whatever.
Yeah. And then practicing workplace eye safety. So our employers are required to provide safety equipment when we're working. So if it's part of your job, make sure you are wearing it, because, something flies into your eye. Not only can it be painful, but it can also disrupt your vision in a way that could potentially be,
something that's no fun. Safety glasses, of course, can be fun and quirky, but the proper ones, if you're doing things like construction or working with chemicals or anything like that can be hazardous, if your eyes come into contact with it, it's just the smart thing to do. Once again, we'd rather prevent an injury. Yes. That can, be anything from, something that's, a liquid or a particle getting in to something really damaging, the eyeball itself, depending if you're in heavy construction or if you're in anything to do with, quarrying and various trades and such. even like working with metal, I think, is one that gets overlooked a bit. If
Yes,
there are those
that's
who
what I
are
was
doing,
thinking, yeah.
what they call tool and die work, where you're actually working with either welding metal or cutting metal, all of those things. I've known a few people, unfortunately, who have gotten metal fragments in their eye and have experienced to some extent a vision loss because of that. And then anything that's like a power tool or something like that you're using, you want to make sure you have eye protection. And it's easy to get. They're not expensive. You can get the ones at the hardware stores, or if I think if you're in a profession that's particularly dangerous, you might want to invest in more heavy duty ones.
Yes,
that are more
I would
industrial.
agree.
It's the same thing when I
Yeah.
think it comes to like air filters and breathers and things like that,
Yeah.
depending on the degree of danger of whatever you're dealing with. But it's just smart. And I think it's mandatory for employers in those fields to provide, just like a hard hat on a construction site,
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's your hints and tips for Love Your Eyes.
Hashtag love your eyes.
Yes.
Now, how will this World Sight Day sort of be observed, sort of in other places, and what is Vision Bermuda doing?
Vision Bermuda's doing on Wednesday this week, the 12th of October, Lindo's are really kind in supporting us by holding a tag day at their Warwick store.
Love it.
So
Love those
I should
guys.
be there.
Shout out to Zach and everybody over there.
Yes. So I am there, if I believe it right, on the 11 to 12 shift. So do come and say hi and have a chat. So I am there then. And Lindo's in Devonshire are doing a roundup day for us. So huge, huge, huge thanks to all the customers, staff and management for, for allowing us to go ahead with that. On the Thursday, as you know, every month I come here, I hope that I'm going to give you really good news about Beacon House. But anyway, it's still under renovation, but we are so close to the end now. So World Sight Day on Thursday the 13th, we're having a open house at Digicel headquarters near the bus stop there on the corner of Victoria Street and Cedar Avenue from 11:30 to 2:30. And we ask anybody who's to come along, and I'm going to provide sim specs, which are simulation spectacles that you can wear with different eye conditions, and then I've got a few tasks for you to do while you're wearing the different sim specs. So if you have a family member, colleague, or loved one, anybody really, anybody that has sight loss and their condition, and you'd like to have a little bit of an understanding of what they're going through. Of course, it's not accurate because everybody's different. But it'll give you an idea, and then come along and try and do a couple of activities wearing them. Then you'll understand the difficulties. You'll start to get an idea.
I would think this would be a good thing, though, for all the caregivers out there too.
Yes,
that might be dealing with folks with experiencing sight loss at various levels, or those who are just in the profession in general. Because there could come a time in your career where you are dealing with someone with sight loss. And so it'd be very beneficial to come along and check out the things you're talking about, but also perhaps, get involved with Vision Bermuda to an extent where they can, further their career in caregiving or even pursue like your line of career and everything.
Well, that would be amazing. I would love it if there was somebody that wanted to train in my work that I could mentor. That would just be amazing. I really would love that before I left the island. But the other thing is, if there's care homes and or carers that can't come out, I'm always happy to come along and do some
the
demonstrations
training
at
the
bring
place.
them. And so, that to me is that's easy for me to do, and we can set up a time for that. So please reach out again if you're thinking that I'd really love to know more about this, but I can't come. Don't let that stop you. Just reach out to me.
So what time again is that taking place?
So that is taking place from 11:30 to 2:30.
Okay, so throughout the lunch hour period, folks.
And the Digicel have very kindly donated a little bit of refreshments.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, so come along and have some lunch.
Have a nibble. Yep.
Yep. And see what we do, because it's an information day, so we'll all be there. Teresa Hall, the executive director, Phyllis Harshaw.
Phyllis is going to be there.
She's going to be there.
Phyllis, the superwoman.
Yes, and I will be there. Yes, so that would be great. And then on the same day at 1:15 at the steps of City Hall, We will. So we won't be there from 1:15 to 1:30. I'm guessing we'll do a little bit of time there because we're all going to be at City Hall, where the lovely Ed Christopher, the Hamilton's Town Crier, is going to make a proclamation for
World Sight Day.
For World Sight Day.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's what we've got going on this week. So I'm really excited about it. It'll be really a really good, fun day. Yeah.
We want to encourage anyone who has a family member that are either dealing with sudden sight loss, or even there are some young people out there that we know that have dealt with sight loss throughout their lives and might be feeling a little isolated or a little lost on what's available here. Vision Bermuda really is taking all these extra steps to try and make sure that the quality of life is the best that it can be here on the island for those with vision loss. So we encourage you to come out. The amazing Phyllis, although she doesn't have a place to teach it right now, has mad IT skills as a blind person that she can teach anyone who cares to learn. So come on out and meet her specifically if you like. All of these things are available.
We are running IT classes.
You
again.
Are? Okay, good.
Yes.
Yeah. So come and find out about them.
Come along and find out about them.
Yeah.
Yes, on a Tuesday and Thursday.
Yeah, come and show up. And everything from, just regular administration skills to things like, how to navigate, music programs and stuff, which are often very beneficial for those with sight loss, of course.
Yeah, talking books, Audible, the Kindle.
All of those things, you can learn to really expand, what you can and cannot, what you can do specifically, and not be stuck in what you think you can't do.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, yes. Don't think you can't do it, because I'm your girl. I'll show you can.
Teresa's the one, for sure. Yeah.
So I'd just like to, because I see it goes so fast talking to you.
We're getting up there.
We are, aren't we? That I am about to place an order for large print diaries and calendars.
Okay.
So we're the large print pocket diaries will be $15, and the desk diary is $20, and the large print wall calendar is $15. So I'm bringing them in from the UK, from the RNIB, because they seem to be the best calendar. I did want to get them from the States, but they just seem to be the better calendar and diaries for vision loss. And so because of that, they're going to take a little while to get here. Sure, so you're trying to get ahead of it. So the close-off day is going to be Monday. So if you'd like to pre-order, please contact either info@Vision Bermuda or call 292-3231.
That's 232-3231, right? Yes. That's what you have here, love. Just checking.
292.
It's 292? Okay, that's just a typo.
That's a typo.
292-3231, folks. So info@visionbermuda.com is shoot them an email, and then it's definitely there for someone to follow up with and get in touch with what you need to get done.
Yeah, 292-3231 is the right number. That's definitely
okay, here we have it, the correct one down here. That's right. We're looking at all the right things.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure as well, because that would be awful giving everybody the wrong number.
So make sure you head to Digicel through your lunch hour on the Thursday. On the Thursday for sure. And see what Theresa has just been telling us all about. And if you can, just pause for a minute while the proclamation happens on City Hall steps as well. And make sure you see Theresa on the tag day. Yeah. On tag day for sure at Lindo's Warwick, and do your rounding up as much as you can through the day for Lindo's Devonshire. And all of these things will help to get Beacon House open. That is the primary goal of almost all the fundraising. Speaking of which, if you would like to donate, again, those same contacts, info@visionbermuda.bm, or go on their webpage and click the donate
please
prompt, because every little bit is helping, and it's that close now. And gosh, it would be lovely to have them in before the end of the year, or at least the first quarter of next year. So let's try and make that happen for us. Now we'll just talk a little bit about our next Vision Talk, Theresa.
Yes, well, we have Friends of Hospice coming to talk with us.
Okay.
And we're going to be working together and with Friends of Hospice, which I'm really excited about.
This is developing some programs for folks with vision loss with them as a partner.
With them as a partner. Yeah,
that's awesome.
I'm really excited about that. That'd be great. But so it's watch this space for that. Because I had hoped that we would be in our building to be able to share with you exactly, but I don't think we will be. So I'm just going to hold off on what we are doing until November. When I can give more of an understanding. Well, they're coming to speak with me. They're going to be my guest. So and we'll have more of an understanding about definitely where we're going with it. And
that's Monday the 14th of November.
The 14th of November.
I just want to touch before we go. Are you still are you still in the needing the large screen TV for the youth project at Beacon House? How have things come with that outreach?
As far as I'm aware, yes, we are still looking for support in that.
I'm going to push that piece of string up the hill a little harder, and try and see if I can facilitate you getting some information on how to make that happen. So, folks, you have it.
Sorry, that and more importantly, really, is the PlayStation. I say more important; they go hand in hand.
They go hand in hand. So it would be great to get a package there put together for them, and then just as soon as they can open those doors, there'll be some social life for our young folks with vision loss. That's the goal.
Yeah.
So we've just about come to the end of our time, Theresa.
Wow.
Always great chatting with you. I think we've given our listeners some helpful tips, and yes, we say it often and we say it over and over again because it is that important, and we want everyone to know if they're suffering, how they can get some relief. And, of course, today's show primarily is about preventing it.
I think if anybody has concerns about their eyesight and they're feeling that they really, but they can't afford it, then talk to us. Let's just have the conversation with us, please. Reach out.
There are ways to navigate that to where you don't have to think that you're at your wits' end.
Absolutely.
There's nothing
just
you can do.
Reach out, please. I'm here.
All right. Info at visionbermuda.bm. That's the one. Make sure you contact Theresa. Lovely chatting with you, honey. Looking forward to next month again. Take care, folks.
Thank you.